They have revealed the next playable character for that game that has a no word I can't say out loud. So, what does he look like? Honestly, I think this one's fire. This is a good looking one. It's like really, really clean. It's dark. It's kind of gritty. I think this one looks good, actually. Frankly, like, this is solid. This is solid. A lot of us have been saying, the top comment is like, this should have been season 2. This is kind of what I'm saying. Like, I do think there was an opportunity to sort of dig themselves out of the hole they were in if they had done a lot of just pure fan service, giving people exactly what they wanted. I do think they could have done that. And maybe it wouldn't, I don't think it would have turned the game into like a smash success or anything, but I do think it would have helped at least. But instead, like, we got characters that nobody was asking for, like Lawless, who nobody had ever heard of. We got Mrs. Freeze, which is like a gender swapped alternative universe Mr. Freeze that just looks bad. Like, some of these outfits, dude. Like, you can't make it up, wearing an actual trash bag. So they could have done any number of those things to like win people over. And they had this guy in the works, but they had decided he was season 4. And it's just a great example of literally the opposite of how they should have done this. What you do with a live service game is you start out, okay? We start out early on in the timeline with like all the fan service. So this is our timeline, right? We start out, maybe profitability is low. Okay, profitability is low. We'll go green for money. We start low profitability, and then over time, your goal is to increase margins. But what we're gonna do is, in terms of the levels of fan service, we're gonna start really high. And then maybe over time, we start to get a little more wacky and silly. You know, you can see it with like the Call of Duty skins where they start doing a freaking, what was it, Godzilla King Kong thing where it was like an $80 pair of gauntlets. You had to pay $20 for 4 parts of the gauntlet set. And it's just like egregiously over monetized. But they waited to do that until they were much further along this timeline, until they were like all the way over here where it's all about margin and much less about, you know, doing the thing that's like pro-consumer or reasonable and rational. With this is fan service. This is what the fans wanted from day one. This was like what the first season should have been, frankly. Joker was fine. It was just a really poorly done Joker. And who knows, maybe this version of Deathstroke ends up being just like, well, guys, I've decided to hang up the cape. Doesn't wear a cape, but hang up the helmet and guns and stuff. I'm Deathstroke, but now I just want to go around helping people, and I'm going to become a therapist and talk to everybody about their problems. My ultimate ability is going to be called therapy, and when you activate your ultimate ability, we both sit down on a couch and we talk about stuff. If they do that, which honestly I wouldn't put past them at this point, then we have a problem, and that wouldn't have fixed anything. But if this really is just a solid playable character who's got maybe some unique moves and is cool and adds to the roster, that should have been season 1. Their version of the Joker should have been like, you remember what they said in the marketing thing where they're like, he's just misunderstood. And this Joker has some insecurities and stuff. It's like, he's the Joker, okay? When you think of The Dark Knight with Heath Ledger's brilliant performance, you're not like, the Joker just needs a hug. I think that's what he needs. He's just misunderstood. He needs somebody to talk to him about the pressures of being a clown in the modern society. Like, no, he's the Joker. He's pure chaos, and that's okay. Not everybody needs to like rewrite everything into this deep moral quandary. It's like, was it Rings of Power that had orc families? Are they the ones that did orc families? That was like a whole thing where it's like, no, I mean, that wasn't a thing in the originals, but okay, whatever. Yeah, the Joker isn't insecure about his insecurities. Yeah, I just think like, this type of thing, you can see the reactions. People are like, actually, this looks really good. This is what I wanted, as this guy says. And Bats comes back as well. I hope Deathstroke plays the serious straight man and the rest of the crew bullies him, but he's armed with snappy comebacks. I'm even more excited for the Christmas skins. Santa, Shark, Krampus, and Deathstroke. That actually could be good. Yeah, thank you for completing the year of content as promised. Like, that's all solid.
And 0N donated $50 through Super Chat.
No, thank you. I mean, once more, I just think this is solid. This is what people wanted from day one. Like, this is all they wanted. And the fact that it's taken, you know, whatever it is now, like 9 months, 10 months to get a playable character that people actually wanted is crazy. But it just reaffirms the feeling I think a lot of us had for this whole Suicide Squad debacle, which was that it was not a game built for and being made for the gamers and for the players. It was a game that was being built in a way where they wanted to like make something that you should like. They weren't concerned with what you did like. They wanted to make something that they felt you should like. It's like, oh, you think that Lawless as a character looks really uninteresting. Well, that's a you problem. She slays. Didn't we tell you she's a streamer? She's an influencer. You should love that. She live streams her crimes. Didn't you know? Yeah, you forgot about that. Like, her whole character plot point was that she live streams her crimes. It has a whole following. It's so stupid, dude. It's unbelievable. Or like Mrs. Freeze. You wanted regular Mr. Freeze because that's what you grew up seeing and reading comic books on and all that, and he's a beloved character. Well, too bad. You're getting Mrs. Freeze and you're going to like him. If you don't like it, that's a you problem. It's like they weren't concerned with what you actually wanted. They tried to give you something you should want. And it's that sort of pandering, like, not even pandering because it's not giving you what you want. It's like a lecturing thing where like, you're gonna like this. Shut up, sit down and drink your slop. You know, it's just stupid. But this is actually what people wanted. And my point is, if you wanted to do Lawless, if you wanted to do Mrs. Freeze, you could do that season 6, 7, 8. Once you have the established fan base, once you have the big roster where people who like Deathstroke can play Deathstroke and don't need to worry about Lawless or try Lawless, do it that way. Do it that way. But giving players what they actually wanted after the fact, and after you spent a year giving them stuff they didn't want, you shouldn't be surprised when no players remain to play the thing that they said they wanted from day one. You know, you burned them. You burned them all, they left. So don't you all love influencers? Yeah, that was the most insane thing. I was like, I'm technically speaking an influencer. I hate that term because I find it so stupid to be like, well, we're not like online entertainers or whatever. No, we're influencers because we influence your opinion. I'm like, no. Stop. I hate it. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. Oh, well, and it was so stupid also because it's like, do you really think people are going to be like, wow, I want to be an influencer when I grow up, so I'm going to play this game with this slay influencer who streams like serious crimes. I just don't understand it. Like, it's again, so hello, fellow young kids. Like, it's so out of touch with what actual people like and don't like. It's unbelievable. But anyway, this looks solid. I cannot believe I'm saying this, but I'm actually kind of excited to try Deathstroke based on this. Like, this actually looks solid. So here we are. It's coming on December 10th. Funny thing is, I'm going to be in a hotel room when this launches. So I may have to film our video in the hotel room. And all my saves are on Xbox. Guess who's coming on the trip? We're finally gonna find a use for him. He's got like candle wax spilled on him because I dropped a candle. Little tip, in case you ever spill a candle, which is a very Luke problem to have. If you ever spill a candle on your carpet and you're like, oh God, melted wax in my carpet, it's ruined. It's not. Just take paper towels, lay it over the wax, get your iron and put it over the paper towel, and it will melt the wax, and the wax will seep up into the paper towel, and then you just lift the paper towel off and the wax is gone. Brilliant, right? There. Now you can try it, spill a candle, and it's okay. But yeah, I've had to do that more than one time because I like my candles. As you can tell, I have an army. So yeah, we'll try that. Gonna have to record it from the hotel room, but we'll figure that out. Good problem to have. Candle tips with Luke. See, you are an influencer. How dare you? How dare you?
He took my thing.